Voice of Korea.
Now we begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
We now present amidst the covers Song of Janitor Kim Il-sung. The middle chorus, Song of General Kim Jong-il.
Respected Kim Jong-un, First Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, First Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, and Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, guided a gunning practice of a long-distance artillery subunit assigned the task of striking major enemy objects on the West and South Seas on the occasion of the 82nd anniversary of the heroic Korean People's Army. He was accompanied by members of the Central Military Commission of the Workers' Party of Korea, members of the Executive Committee of the Party Committee of the Korean People's Army, and commanding officers of the services and corps-level units. He heard with satisfaction the reports that the commanding officers and men of the long-distance artillery subunit are full of confidence to make a good hit. They will be able to conduct gunning in a strange area after making a long-distance march upon another unmoving all of a sudden. Respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un fixed the firing order and method and gave an order to start gunning. The moment, the switch artillery pieces began to fire all at once. The correct and merciless strike brought the targets to pieces, and the theater was turned into a sea of flames clouded with powder smoke, which was shown on the screen display of the commanding crowd. Whenever the shells hit the target, Kim Jong-un expressed great satisfaction, saying it is a bullseye strike and it is really a good hit. Seeing the artilleryman in high spirits, he, with a bright smile on his face, said, "They are praiseworthy. The subunits which have been involved in the battle of firing strike on the West and South Seas is different from others as well. I am really pleased to see the artillerymen good at gunning." He also saw the artillerymen could make a good hit even in the unfavorable situation, as they have conducted intensive trainings while thinking of the day of battle. He expressed great pleasure, saying, "Today's gunning practice was wonderful." The men of the long-distance artillery subunit set off the fireworks in celebration of the Army Day. He went on to say that on the Army Day, he recalls the glorious course covered by the Korean People's Army under the loving care of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, and that the Korean People's Army has been intensely loyal to the party and revolution and firmly defended the country and people while carrying forward the brilliant traditions of the anti-Japanese struggle since the day when the Korean People's Army was founded. He noted that the People's Army has shared the destiny only with the party and defended the precious social system with arms for tens of years, and added that it is a great pride of our party to have such a revolutionary army. Respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un said the artillerymen who have grown to be crack shots as intended by the party have made a good hit in the gunning practice, and thus admirably decorated the significant Army Day. He highly appreciated their feat and had a picture taken with them.
The British Association for the Study of Sungun Policy recently broke the full text of the great leader President Kim Il-sung's famous work, 10-point program of the great unity of the whole nation for the reunification of the country. The Day of the Sun, this anniversary of the great leader President Kim Il-sung, was recently observed at the Kim Jong-il exhibitions, photo exhibitions, film shows, program meetings, receptions, and other events held at the DPRK missions in Beijing and Hong Kong of China, Narcotica of Russia, Laos, Indonesia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Cambodia, Kuwait, Uzbekistan, Bulgaria, Switzerland, Italy, Spain, France, Sweden, Poland, Britain, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, Egypt, Angola, and Uganda. Hung in the front walls of the venues of the events were smiling portraits of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, and their joint full-length pictures and floral baskets and bouquets were laid before them. Displayed there were photographs showing the undying achievements of the great generalissimus Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and respected Kim Jong-un. Also exhibited there were their famous works, quoted Kim Jong-il Immortal Flower in Praise of Great Men, and publications introducing Sungun Korea. DPRK documentaries including Fireworks of a Thriving Nation and Pyongyang Today were screened at the film shows. Invited to the events were personages of the government, political parties, military, organizations, institutions, social idea study organizations, and organizations with friendship and solidarity with the Korean people, representatives of international and regional and non-government organizations, and foreign diplomats in those countries, and officials of the DPRK missions were present there. Meetings were held in Uganda and India, and remembrance meetings in Venezuela and Zimbabwe on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. Put on display at the venues of the events were photos on the revolutionary life and fate of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, and on the revolutionary activities of respected Kim Jong-un. Also on display were their famous works and books and photos showing the achievements of the Korean army and the people in the building of our powerful nation. The events held in India and Venezuela adopted the congratulatory messages to Kim Jong-un. Foreign newspapers feature the Day of the Sun, the Indian newspaper Indian and World Event, the Guinean newspaper Horoya, the Syrian newspaper An-Nur, the Bangladesh newspaper Dainik Prabhat, and the Angolan newspaper Continente carried articles under different titles including Great Man Kim Il-sung, on the occasion of the 102nd birth anniversary of eternal President Kim Il-sung, and Eternal Sun, in praise of the sacred revolutionary life and immortal feats of Kim Il-sung, who is always alive as the sun in the hearts of all people. The Indian and the Guinean newspapers printed a photo of President Kim Il-sung in his revolutionary activities and his smiling portrait. The British newspaper The New Worker carried an article titled Revolutionary Salute to Kim Il-sung, and the Egyptian newspaper Al-Masiriyah an article titled People's Father. The articles spoke highly of President Kim Il-sung, who devoted his all for the people's well-being, regarding the service for the people as his greatest pleasure. Special write-ups were recently blogged on the internet homepages of the Khabarovsk Territorial Committee of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation, the France-Korea Friendship Association, the NS Travel Company of Germany, the Brazilian Center for the Study of the Church Idea, and the Brazilian Committee for Remembering Leader Kim Jong-il on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, and the 21st anniversary of the election of the great Kim Jong-il as the chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK. The participants in the 29th meeting of General Directors of the Organization of Railways Cooperation, the Friendship Visiting Group of the China National Tourism Administration, and the foreign guests visited the Kunsan Palace of the Sun and paid respect to the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il laid in state there on the 27th. The Central Military Commission of the Workers' Party of Korea and the National Defense Commission of the DPRK made public a decision Saturday on awarding the title of Vice Marshal of the Korean People's Army on Hwang Byung-soo. President of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, sent a message of greetings Sunday to Jacob Gedley Huleki Satsuma, President of the Republic of South Africa, on the occasion of the Day of Freedom, the national day of that country. The message wished President Zuma and people of South Africa greater success in their work for the stability and economic development of the country, and expressed a belief that the friendly and cooperative relations between the two countries would further strengthen and develop. The spokesman for the National Defense Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea issued a statement Monday clarifying our principled stand on Obama's South Korean visit. The statement said, while visiting South Korea for 2 days and 1 night from April the 25th, U.S. President Obama repeatedly provoked the DPRK and actively instigated the South Korean puppets to confrontation with it. The National Defense Commission of the DPRK declares our principled stand concerning the fact that the U.S. President, the leader of mapping out and implementing the U.S.-Korea policy, flew in South Korea and groundlessly slandered the DPRK. First, the United States had better deeply reflect on its past and present crimes that imposed nuclear disasters upon mankind before finding fault with our jet nukes. Describing our nukes as disrespect to the United States and its allies, Obama loudly talked about non-acceptance of North Korean nukes, the keynote of which is that it can neither recognize nor tolerate our nuclear possessions, and accordingly, our nukes must be scrapped or abandoned without any conditions. We declare once again that our nukes are self-defense with deterrent force to be maintained and expanded and strengthened still further until the U.S. nuclear threats and blackmail are terminated and almighty tragedy starts to break the Christian nuclear state of the United States and establish a fair world order. Now, the world presents views and suppositions that another nuclear test and rocket launch will announce beforehand will lead to an unexperienced chain-amplified nuclear fission bomb test and rapid possession of new intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of striking the depths of the U.S. mainland. If we are requested to tell the truth, we do not deny that we can take more serious measures than it. Second, the United States should remember the corrupt social reality of itself and stop far from talking about provocation, threat, and human rights of the North. During the whole period of his South Korean trip, Obama, taking Park Geun-hye under his wings all the time, repeatedly raised the human rights issue of the North while talking about its provocation and threat. The United States and its followers should clearly know that the DPRK is different from countries in the Middle East and Balkan Peninsula that collapsed by their human rights offensives. Third, it would not be bad to bear in mind that the plot to occupy the Korean Peninsula forever is an anachronistic illusion that precipitates its disgrace and ruin. The United States tried to maintain the wartime operational command at any cost, not to lose the strategic point of South Korea it has occupied for nearly 70 years. When the whole of South Korea was reduced to a house of funeral because of the tremendous misfortune of the sinking of the passenger ship that claimed hundreds of lives, Park Geun-hye, clinging to the sleeves of her master, the United States, disgracefully begged for its permanent occupation and requested for intensive pressure and sanctions on the fellow countrymen who concealed their unexpected accident and thus nakedly revealed her true colors as a pro-American trader against peace, reunification, and the nation, as a confrontation maniac against the fellow countrymen. The aggressive plot of the United States to occupy South Korea permanently is a daydream that cannot be realized at any time. The ever victorious spirit and inexhaustible strength of the powerful Pakistan nation lie in the unprecedentedly great confidence and spirit with which the airmen of the whole army were called to the historic meeting on the day of the sun, and victorious enemy annihilating operational map was drawn up, ridiculing the imperialist blue flies sparkling in the southern sky of the Korean Peninsula. The written hidden roar of the Tsuche guns is the signal bomb report predicting the total bankruptcy of the U.S. hostile policy towards the DPRK and the miserable doom of Park Geun-hye. Obama is well advised again to clearly see the situation they will lead and squarely see what they would get and what they would lose from their hostile policy towards the DPRK, the statement stressed. The spring land management is brisk in the DPRK. A number of embankment projects have been completed in a short span of time in Sinuiju City, Ryongcheon, and Unsan counties of North Pyongan province. Officials and working people in Unsan, Pakchon, Gojang, and other counties have planted 56 million trees in more than 12,900 hectares and cultivate them according to the scientific and technical requirements. Saplings of good species of great economic value are cultivated and supplied stage by stage in Suncheon, Pyeokdong, and Yongsi counties. More than 62,350,000 trees were planted in North Hwanghae province as of April on an all-people movement. The DPRK Taekwondo players won 5 trophy cups, 24 gold and 4 silver medals in the 7th Asian Taekwondo Championship held in Kathmandu of Nepal between the 18th and the 23rd, coming first in total ranking of the participant countries. In the championship attended by excellent Taekwondo players of 20 countries and regions, The DPRK players came first in men's and women's adult team events, men's and women's team pattern, team sparring, and team special skill. DPRK figure skaters bagged gold medals at the 2014 International Skating Union World Development Cup Ice Figure Skating Competition held in Manila of the Philippines on April 26. The competition brought together more than 60 figure skaters from 15 countries and regions, including the DPRK, Argentina, New Zealand, Uzbekistan, and Hong Kong of China. Zhou Yangmyung came first at the men's single of junior class B, Zhou Xiangli at the women's single of junior class E, and Kim Hunqiang at the women's single of junior class E. And Han Gum-chul and Han Kwang-bum snatched silver and bronze medals respectively at the youth men's singles. DPRK gymnast Kan Yong-mi came first and got a gold medal in women's uneven bars at the 2014 International Gymnastics Federation Gymnastic Challengers Cup Games. The games were held in Croatia between April 24th and 27th with the participation of 110 of its gymnasts from 29 countries and regions, including the DPRK, Switzerland, Sweden, Slovenia, and Azerbaijan. The 29th meeting of the General Directors of the Organization of Railways Cooperation was held in Pyongyang between April 24th and 27th. Present at the meeting were the delegation of the Committee of the Organization of Railways Cooperation and railway delegations of the DPRK, Russia, China, Latvia, Hungary, Mongolia, Belarus, Azerbaijan, Ukraine, Estonia, Vietnam, Kazakhstan, Poland, and other countries. In his congratulatory speech, DPRK Minister of Railways, Chen Kil-su, expressed the belief that the daily strengthening cooperation between the member countries of the organization would become closer on the occasion of the meeting. The meeting summed up the work of the Committee of the Organization in 2013, including freight and passenger transport. The meeting also discussed on the function of the leadership of the committee and practical issues, including the date and venue of the next meeting. A protocol was adopted at the meeting. The Government Economic Delegation of the DPRK, headed by Lee Myung-sun, Vice Minister of Foreign Trade, left Pyongyang by air on Monday to participate in the first meeting of the Intergovernmental Joint Committee between the DPRK and the Federal Republic of Nigeria and visit a number of African countries. The Solidarity for Democracy, People's Life, Peaceful Reunification and Sovereignty of South Korea made public a statement on the 23rd. The statement claimed that Park Geun-hye regime is an incompetent and worthless government, a government covering up any fact when it breaks out, a deceptive government which puts blame on individuals when case is disclosed, a government shifting fault onto others and taking no responsibility, and the culmination of a group of cowards and corrupt bureaucrats. The statement denounced that the serious situation has been created on the Korean Peninsula owing to the authorities' extreme confrontational policy toward the north. The South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People ran an editorial on the 23rd under the title, "Present is the Problem." The editorial said, Park Geun-hye convened a meeting in the Blue House concerning the sinking of passenger ship Sewol. However, she gave unilateral directives alone instead of discussion for appropriate measures and never made a responsible apology and repentance. It is entirely wrong that she only talked about stern punishment of public officials without making any repentance and apology, although the president is to blame for the problem. Park Geun-hye can never evade the responsibility, the editorial stressed. The United Confederation of Koreans in Russia sent a letter of protest to the Japanese ambassador to Russia on the 19th in denunciation of the Japanese authorities' suppression of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan. And that's the end of the news read by Choi Sung-nam and Kim Jun-oh, speakers Voice of Korea. Now you will enjoy the another masterpiece. O Korea, I will add glory to thee, which was created by the great leader Kim Jong-il in 1949 or 1960. Central Zoo. The Central Zoo is located at the foot of Mount Daesung in Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The Central Zoo, covering more than 100 hectares, is a scientific and cultural educational center for disseminating zoological knowledge and ensuring research work to protect and increase the animal resources of the country and pleasant recreation of the people. The Central Zoo is associated with love and kindness of the great men of Mount Daesung who paid concern to provide the people with a better cultural life. Right after the country's liberation, the great leader President Kim Il-sung climbed up Mount Daesung with the anti-Japanese heroine Kim Jong-suk and young Kim Jong-il and conceived the plan to build a picturesque area into people's pleasure ground. Afterwards, he visited the area more than 20 times and rightly illumined the route for the zoo to go. He took all measures to secure rare animals and world-famous animals, and thanks to the zoo, the animals personally raised by him in his garden and the precious gift animals presented by foreigners. The great leader Kim Jong-il visited the Central Zoo in a year after when he saw the Central Zoo, whose site had been chosen by President Kim Il-sung, is a crystallization of his love for the people. He made great efforts to wonderfully build the Central Zoo associated with the leadership of President Kim Il-sung and turn it into a better cultural recreational resort where working people spend a pleasant time. Busy as he was with state affairs, the great Kim Jong-il often visited the zoo and paid attention to every animal shed and every establishment, saying that as the Central Zoo is for the people, it should have many animals loved by the people. He visited the Central Zoo in January to check 100 or 2011, the last year of his life. That day, he said, it is the pride of the Korean people to have the largest zoo, and the Central Zoo is the precious wealth of the country, greatly contributing to the cultural life and education of the working people and school youth and children. Respected Marshal Kim Jong-un pays attention to wonderfully furnishing the Central Zoo and giving it to the people through the behavior of General listeners Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. He visited the Central Zoo again in 2014 after his visit in May to check 101 or 2012. He said, over the past 50 odd years, the Central Zoo that received the field guidance of the great General listeners on tens of occasions has wonderfully discharged its mission as a pleasant recreation resort, giving delight and optimism to the people, and as an educational center giving wide knowledge of animals. The Central Zoo, associated with the immortal exploits of the great men of Mount Daesung, will be excellently built as befitting a highly civilized socialist nation in the near future, and make an active contribution to the cultural life and education of the working people.
Been listening to an account under the title A Story About the Central Zoo. This is Voice of Korea.
Please appreciate the female Solen Pangton. We cannot live without him.
하늘 같은 인도광 비들에 흘려 우리 모두 떠오르는 유서를 그리워 향기로 우리 행복 힘주시네 너를 펴는 희망도 꿈은 고원도 그 속에서 모두 피네
Here's a string ensemble. We believe in you as in heaven.
portray a female solo and Pangchang, the voice of the mother.
With this, we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kilohertz and 13,650 kilohertz. For Middle East and Northern Africa between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kilohertz and 11,645 kilohertz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kilohertz and 11,635 kilohertz. For Southern Africa between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kilohertz and 11,910 kilohertz. And for Central and South Americas between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kilohertz, 13,760 kilohertz, and 15,180 kilohertz. And between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,710 kilohertz and 15,180 kilohertz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.